Rowan, if you start, and then I'll just
Should I say welcome to Top Bins Football?
Yeah. I'm just setting you up. Hang on.
Otherwise, I'll say something.
It's just loading. There you go, boys. Over to you. I'll put you on here.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Top Bins Football. I'm here with James, who is a Liverpool fan, and we're doing a half-time review of the Liverpool-Manchester United game. So, James, what did you make of that half from a Liverpool fan's point of view?
From a Liverpool fan point of view, I'm feeling confident in the attacking side of us. You know, we're doing very well attackingly.
Yeah.
I can obviously tell that United have put on a very defensive front.
Definitely.
So you're playing the 4-2-3-1, and so you've got the two central defensive midfielders, and I think that's where our weak point is, because we're getting all these shots in. You know, I think we've got about 10 shots so far, and deflections the lot where it's just gone wide or over. Defensively, I feel like we're struggling a bit.
Agreed.
Mainly because we don't. I think it's because we don't have two natural centre backs. You know, we're playing Henderson and Fabinho, two natural centre midfielders. No, it's not looking great at the moment, but hopefully it will take a turn in the second half.
Yeah, when I first saw United's lineup, what I don't like is we reverted back to Lindelof and Maguire, because we've seen how well Bailly has been playing with Maguire, and then we go back to having two slow centre backs, and then McFred just babysitting them basically, which is just. I don't get what Ollie's trying to do. Like, I can see from the lineup we're playing for a point. You know, we're playing for a point. Maybe hit him on the break, but Bruno's having to drop so deep just to try and get the ball and do his defensive work. And I've seen Liverpool, Mane and Salah just carving us open from the flanks, because like Wan-Bissaka's just been way out of position sometimes.
Yeah, no, I feel with our defence as well. You know, I feel like this has sort of become a reoccurring pattern with Trent. It's like he nearly let in an easy one from Pogba, and it's like after that stunt that he pulled at Saints the other week, I just feel like he's slowly spiralling down, and I just feel like our right side at the moment is looking a little bit weak, along with the rest of our defence. Robbo's had a good game so far. I'm happy with the front three. I mean, Wijnaldum, Thiago in the midfield. I think Thiago has had better games for sure. But I think from where you're having two central defensive midfielders with McTominay and Fred, I definitely feel like he's struggling a bit to get the passes about, because obviously he's a very sort of pass-like player, and with your whole defence and your central defensive midfielders, I just don't feel like he's getting it forward enough, and I think that could be a lot there.
Based on this first half, what do you think the score's going to be?
Based on this first half?
Yeah.
The score, I reckon, will probably turn out. See, it's difficult because this is a game where it will either be goal frenzy or goalless, and it's looking like the second one so far. I reckon it's going to be 2-1.
2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 or 1-0.
Liverpool win.
I can't put a verdict on who the winner is. I want it to be Liverpool, but United have shown a very positive and promising attacking position, and we don't like that. So
I don't know. I mean, one thing I don't like is I think Pogba. I like him as a player, but I think he's got to be playing that midfield pivot, because McFred, it offers no creativity. I don't think either of them can really do an amazing 40-yard pass that can take like 3 Liverpool players out the team, whereas Pogba can. But playing on the wing, it's like I don't think he's that quick. I think he kind of strides forwards, and I think from that midfield pivot he's great, but from the wing, I don't think he's a natural wing. I've heard United fans saying I like Pogba on the wing, he can play there, but I think in that midfield pivot where he was when we played with Matic against Burnley, I think that was perfect.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think because when I was looking at the lineups tonight, I was particularly noticing in Man United that because you're playing a 4-2-3-1 tonight, you've got one striker and 3 sitting cams, and it's good to see that Rashford is back in his natural position in striker, because obviously United have decided to switch it around. Martial on wing, Martial on striker and Rashford on wing. It's like they're not naturally there, but no, Rashford and striker I do agree with, but I think with the Martial on left cam, perfect. Right cam, Pogba. Now I do see that as an issue, and I definitely do agree with you, because Pogba to me has always been more of a target man in the defensive midfield. He's always a more ball to feet kind of player. And I think I agree with you. He strides. He's not a quick runner. He's more of a get it down, pass it about. He's a very pass-like player, and I feel like he's been put a bit out of his depth, to be honest, in the right wing position.
Yeah, like what I don't get with that is we've moved our record signing in Pogba out of position to accommodate McTominay, who personally, I don't rate him. I like him as a player, but I think as a CDM, I don't see what he brings in a CDM position. When we saw him playing box-to-box against Leeds, 2 goals in the first 3 minutes. One of them smashed it bottom corner outside the box. The other one took it like a centre forward, put it into the net. Both of them amazing goals. For me, he was man of the match in that game. I don't like him in the CDM position, having to babysit Lindelof and Maguire. And Fred doing the same. I think they're both doing one person's job.
I think McTominay is definitely. I think he's definitely in his league playing in that kind of area in the centre midfield. Centre defensively, it's hard to say because McTominay has always been quite a tall, broad lad. He's always been up for a juicy challenge. You know what I mean? So. And I feel like centre defensive midfield, he does suit the position, but how he plays there and interacts with the other players, he looks quite uncomfortable there in a way. And Fred being such a small player as well, he's not the biggest lad in the team.
Yeah, but he's like tenacious, isn't he?
Exactly. Yeah, he's quite frail, and I think he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, because it's like N'Golo Kante in Chelsea. He's quite small, but he's an absolute tank. But with Fred, obviously, he's no Kante. And I think playing him in the centre of defensive midfield, I think that may be a weak spot, and that might be our entry inwards. Because what I did notice in that first half was that your counter-attacks, they hit us hard. That you had us running. But we had that counter-attack where it was Salah against all of your defence. And your defence just lost.
Yeah, agreed.
They were all back at the halfway line. And, Salah was taken off... towards the box, and I think it was quite fortunate that what happened. So
and I think Maguire, he's the captain of the team. He's got to be organising that back line. This is, in my opinion, the biggest game of the season. A step for Manchester United. This is our biggest game of the season, and Maguire, he has to step up now. We need leaders playing against Liverpool, 100%. Do you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you worry about your kind of makeshift centre backs? I'm dealing with Rashford, Martial, Pogba, even Bruno. Do you worry about that?
Do you know what? If I'm going to be completely honest with you, yes, I do. Because we've had Van Dijk out for so long now, and the fact that we're missing Gomez and Matip as well. I feel like with the sort of shift in the sort of new centre back roles, Fabinho, I do have a lot of faith in him. I think he's a very defensive player, and he does play well in the centre back role.
Yeah,
Henderson, on the other hand, I'm not convinced. Henderson, don't get me wrong, I think he's a very good player defensively, but I feel like the centre back position is not for him because he's a very aggressive player on the ball. Yeah. He's hungry for it. He's passionate. He's our captain. He needs to be passionate. He needs to drive for it. And I feel like in the centre back position, he can't get that. Like he's just got to get it down and just play it about and get it up there. Whereas I feel like in the centre mid position, he's just got so much potential of getting it down, aggressively winning the ball back in the midfield and getting it forward just like that, hitting on counter attacks. Centre back position, I'm not confident in Henderson.
Yeah. So when you saw obviously that when you saw like 3:31 Liverpool's lineup and Manchester United's lineup, were you thinking this is going to be a tough game? United have gone defensive, or were you thinking, we can take them? They'll be camped around their 18-yard box. We can just bombard them with pressure. They may hit us on the break, but we've got Trent and Robertson, 2 reasonably quick wing backs who can hopefully deal with that, and our centre backs will be kind of around the halfway line, so we can deal with a counter attack and we can just be camped around their 18-yard box.
Yeah, no doubt. When I saw the lineups, I definitely thought, this is going to be a tough game. I didn't even have to see the lineup, and I knew it was going to be a tough game. But when I did see the lineups and I saw the defensive sort of play that you were going for, I thought, yeah, this is going to be tough because obviously we're playing our 4-3-3, and so 3 midfielders, three up top, and our normal defence. I definitely, and it has showed in the game 100% that we have been struggling to get the ball past any of your players in the box, at least even to get it on target.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I didn't exactly worry as much because we have got two relatively quick wing backs. But from what is shown in this game, Trent defensively isn't looking strong. Robertson, he's been having a good crack so far. He's been having a good game. I think he's getting the ball forward, he's getting it down, he's winning challenges. I do believe in that. But no,
I think Ollie, he's come here playing for the draw. Like in his lineup, you can see he's played for the draw. He's playing very defensive. However, I've got to say this from a Manchester United point of view: we're above you in the league by 3 points. If we win this, we're 6 points clear. I don't think we should be going to Liverpool afraid of Liverpool. We shouldn't be. I know Mane and Salah, probably the best attacking duo in the league, except maybe for Son and Kane. But I don't think we should be scared of that. I think Shaw's a very good left back. Wan-Bissaka's a very good right back. And I think before the game, when I saw that, I thought they can deal with Mane and Salah. And I don't think we should be scared. I think we should be playing Bailly at the back. I think Pogba should be in that midfield pivot. I'd like to assume Van der Beek starting, but I never expected that, to be honest, because Ollie's just got something against him. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think with the lineups today and how it's played out so far, it has definitely matched my expectations of how this game was going to turn out. Okay, I agree. Perhaps because of the clearance of points and stuff, maybe United shouldn't have turned up afraid. But I think United kind of had that mentality, and it looks like it stunned them a bit. Because although you're at the top of the league, doesn't mean that you are the best team in the league just as of yet. So
yeah,
I think with the tactics that have turned out today and the formations and the players that have been put on, I definitely feel like the second half is going to be a lot more interesting because it just seems to be a sort of like a ping pong game for the last half. Constantly back and forth, and we're just not sort of getting any sign of real clinical stuff out of it.
Yeah.
So,
as a Manchester United fan, I hate to say this, but I do think Liverpool will come out in the second half. I do actually think that Liverpool are going to win this game because we've set up I think we'd have to drastically change how we're playing to actually be on the front foot, attacking more. And I don't see Ollie changing this formation and playing players like, I don't know why Cavani didn't start personally. I'd have started Cavani up front, Martial on the left, Rashford on the right, or even Rashford on the left, because I know some people like him more there. I'd throw him on the right because I think in a sense he's right footed, so he's better to put a cross into the box. However, with Rashford, what I often think is he'll try and get a shot off because he's got that striker mentality. He's selfish, which isn't a bad thing, but as a winger you don't want that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think as Jurgen Klopp said to Jose Mourinho when we played Spurs last, at Anfield, you can park the bus, you can fly the plane, but at Anfield, it doesn't always work that way. So I feel like the first half has definitely taken us a bit by surprise. I think for me personally, as a Liverpool perspective, it was expected that we weren't going to be getting the ball forward as often, as in to the box, and actually getting many shots in. It's like the shot that Salah had. If it just connected right, that would have been screaming.
Yeah.
So, no, I feel like the second half, one or the other is going to really shine, and I think one's going to come up with at least 1 or 2 goals, I reckon.
Agreed, yeah. Anyway, second half's about to kick off, so I'll see you later, mate.
Yes, all right, mate. Cheers for that. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Nice one, bro.
Hang on.
I don't know what.